up to all my fight fans out there? Welcome to the Never Stop Fighting channel, and I like to talk to you guys about something. I like to talk to you guys about the latest boxing news that's going on right now, which just so happens to be Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman Jr. Now, for all you die-hard boxing fans out there, Hasim Rahman Jr. is the son of Hasim Rahman, who is famously known for knocking out Lennox Lewis back in the day. Um, of course, he was definitely a great heavyweight in his own time, in his own right. Definitely had quite a few title defenses and went up against, you know, quite a bit of contenders back in his day. Now, as far as his son goes, I will admit I am a die-hard boxing fan. That's been my first true love, even before MMA. Love MMA, but boxing was always my go-to first. And I did see his dad fight. Now, as far as Hasim Rahman Jr., got to say I'm not too familiar with him. But that's not what I'm here to talk about right now. I'm here to talk about the fact that Jake Paul is finally doing what a lot of his fans, a lot of his haters, a lot of people that have been, wanting to see this. He is finally fighting a boxer. And I get it. I'm hearing a lot of people saying, oh, well, Hasim Rahman's not known, and Hasim Rahman doesn't have the greatest record, and this, that. Listen, guys, I was where you guys were at. I was right there. I was looking at Jake Paul's latest fights. He went up against a basketball player. He went up against Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley twice, another YouTuber, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry, but when you are training MMA, and you are designing your brain to keep an eye on takedowns, kicks, elbows, whatever you have, you are not training necessarily boxing. Boxers straight up are not looking for takedowns, not looking to block the knee, to block the elbow, to spin kicks, spinning elbows, all that good stuff that we have in MMA, which is great. I love it. Believe me, I do. But boxers, the greatest of all time, are not looking for that. They are not. They're not training for that. They are training strictly with their hands. So no matter how good Tyron Woodley was at knocking out, which I am a Tyron Woodley fan too. He did have some pretty good knockouts, but I promise you, that guy, anytime he trained his hands, he always had the mentality of, I always got to watch out for that takedown, or I got to watch out for that kick, or I got to watch out for that elbow. And even though he did pretty good in that first fight, I'll give him that. Even it was a slow fight, he did pretty good. But he again doesn't have that built-in mechanism, I guess you can use the word, if that's the right word to use. Just purely boxing, just purely stand up. No, there is no takedowns. There is no grappling. There's none of that. No jiu-jitsu, none of that. Here is where we have finally Jake Paul going against a guy who has that built in, who has never trained wrestling, who has never trained any kind of jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, nothing but pure boxing. And, a lot of us were asking for that way back, a couple of months ago, even last year. Hey, when are you going to fight a boxer? When are you going to fight someone in your prime? When are you going to fight someone of your size? Well, guys, I got to say, he's doing it. Hasim Rahman Jr. is a natural heavyweight, or even a cruiserweight, I guess you could say. He's been having quite a few amateur fights, and now I believe he's 12-1. Recently lost his last fight in knockout, but be that as it may, he still has a boxing record higher than anybody else Jake Paul's ever fought. These YouTubers, the basketball player, and both, Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley never had any kind of previous boxing records. I mean, sure, again, train their hands, but much different. Much, much, much different. So, do you give him props? Do all your haters give him props? I know his fans give him props. I, myself, will admit I wasn't the biggest fan. Of course, when he comes in and he's talking all this smack, and I'm just like, okay, slow down. Let's see what you can do against a guy who actually can strike. who actually can do this. And win, lose, or draw, I got to give my props. He's going in there. And no, he's not doing it for the money because Hasim Rahman isn't a big name. He's not going to sell probably a lot of pay-per-views. Let's just admit it, he is strictly a boxer. That he is going to fight. Jake Paul is fighting now a boxer. And you have to give him props. You have to show that kind of appreciation that, like, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, you're doing it. You're stepping in there. You're doing what we want. He's big just like you. You guys are both about that equal height, equal size. He's even bigger than you. He's not old. I believe he's in his early 30s, which is definitely not old. So, what more can we ask for? I don't want to hear all this talk about how he should be fighting Canelo. Come on, guys. Like, no. It's just as bad as like we asking CM Punk to automatically go in there against Israel Adesanya or Kamaru Usman. Like, no, let's let this guy get his feet a little wet and get used to the ring, because I promise you that's just not going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to ever happen. Who knows what the future might bring in the years to come. Jake Paul seems like he wants to take this serious. He seems like he wants to take his boxing career very serious, and I gotta give him props. Hey, that's much respect. You earn this. You earn this fight. You do the best thing that you could do in there, and then if he wins, yeah, I'll be impressed. I'm sure some of the boxing experts and all of them might differ, because I already hear some people talking like, oh, well, I've never heard of Hasim Rahman. Yeah, but Jake Paul does have a point when he does say, well, how many people did you hear of when Canelo or Mike Tyson or the greatest boxers of all time, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, their number 5 guy? When they, in their boxing record, look at their 5th guy, how many people have you heard of them? Nobody. I really can't tell you. And I'm a real die-hard Canelo fan, and I'm sorry, I don't even know who that guy was. I can't even tell you the name. So the fact that this guy actually does have a name, Hasim Rahman, that he is facing, and if he loses, he lost to an actual boxer. We wanted to see what he can do, and if he keeps trying, that's great. If he doesn't, you know what? Hey, you did a great job. But if he wins, sky's the limit. All right, just keep testing yourself and keep showing us like, hey, you know what? Your skills do not happen overnight. They do take some time. So I am actually very proud and actually very much looking forward to see what Jake Paul can do against Hasim Rahman, against an actual boxer. So you tell me what you guys think. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Either or.